I didn't expect to film an update to this so soon, but this is very contemporary and very in the moment. Hi, my name is Tori. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. And today I have the non-cruelty free project pan. This is a very long project pan. I started it August 21st, 2018, and it is ongoing. This is the first time I filmed this update knowing that it's going to go up right away. Normally I will film one of these updates kind of as a filler, because if you don't already know, I have a lot of long items that will take a long time to use up in this project. But some situations have gone on in the beauty community recently that I have to address and I have to use up. So first we'll do, as always, we'll talk about all of the stuff I have originally used. So all of the older empties that were listed in the previous update will be in the down bar below. Since then, I've only had one empty, and that is the YSL touche éclat. I finished that on the 15th of May after using it 39 times since the last update. It surprised me that it ended so quick. It really had no warning. I was pumping it onto my face and it just stopped clicking. So the product really doesn't give you any warning when it's about to be used up, but it's fine. That is now gone. Now we're going to talk about all of the items that are still in this, going in the order I have them written. So the first item we have to talk about is this QKI highlighter. I have hit pan and expanded the pan since the last update. I've used it 34 times. I feel like the next time I will do an update of this, which will probably be in like 2 to 3 months, this should be gone. 100% should be gone. Next is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Foundation in Warm Porcelain. It's finally starting to get hotter. I've used this 6 times since the last update. This one I can use more than the other complexion product I'm going to talk about, because since it is a whipped formula, I do not need a lot of it. But I will be getting tan this summer, so that will be rad. So I can use this up. The next one that I was talking about was the Maybelline BB Cream. This is in light to medium. I've only used it once. It looked okay the one time I used it, but I'm not confident in wearing it now compared to what color I need to be when I wear this. Next is MAC La Vie in Rouge. So this is a red, and I've only used it twice since the last update. It still smells like French vanilla cupcake, whatever term is used to describe this. So it's still good, so that is good to know. The next lipstick is MAC Candy Yum Yum. I've also only used this 2 times since the last update, and this also still smells good and fresh. And then we have the L'Oreal in Prince Street. I've also used this only 2 times. I would like to ideally hardcore focus on this lipstick soon, because it is a nice color that I can wear all the time. And since it is getting hot, I am going to have to pay more attention to my bullets, because I've noticed that they will be the ones to tend to sweat in the summer, even though I try to keep them out of direct sunlight at all times. Hi, rabbit. Now we're going to do all of my singles to get them out of the way. So I put them all on a little Z so it was convenient for this. So the L'Oreal brown shade was only used twice since the last time. It does have a nice dip. A couple more uses and I'll probably get some nice pan. The L'Oreal pink was used 4 times since the last update. Since these are so old, their formula is getting very crumbly. So even today, I knocked a piece out of both of them when I was trying to get them out of their normal Z palette. But yes, this is the Makeup Forever in 846. And I've only used it once since the last update. And then the rainbow highlighter I haven't really used. I've been trying to empty more pans so I can make smaller versions of each of these colors to start getting more use out of it, but I haven't hit enough pans yet to do that. So Next one is my La Me La palette, and I noticed I accidentally didn't put it in my list, like my chart. So I do have pan now in the bronze, and apparently I only used it 4 times since the last update. I don't think that is correct. I think I've used it more than that because the light purple and the bronze are both in projects. But yeah, the pan is very deep, but it does take a long time to get it very opaque to my liking. So that is that. Next we have my QKI quads. I don't know if this was panned by the last time I did this, but this is the current state of this. That shade is the only shade in a project. I've used this quad twice since the last update, and this quad once. So not the best. We have a couple more items, and then we'll get on to the news that a lot of you know is going to happen. Next, we have an item that I did not take out, and that is my L'Oreal Chandelier Glow Blush. So I have worn down the chandelier to the best of my abilities last year during a project. Since then, I've only used it 4 times. I am trying to pan a completely other blush and hit pan on another one. So once one of those goals are hit, I could get really close to finishing this off, and it is really gorgeous. So that is that. Next is MAC Happy Go Dazzling. So I've used this twice since the last update. Same thing with the blush. I've been focusing on a lot of different highlighters this year, and this one has just hit the back burner. But I have been planning to put this one in another project to keep the uses going. And now, in the last update, I added 3 items that were wandering in my collection that I noticed were not cruelty-free. So the first one is the Estee Lauder eyeliner, and I've used this 4 times since the last update. I don't think I've sharpened it, but I don't really remember. It's nice, but the test on buttons, so is it really that nice? The Makeup Forever Lustrous Eyeshadow Palette, I only used twice, but like when I used it twice, I dipped into a lot of the shades. I really do like the shimmers in this, but I want to hit some more goals before I can pull this one back in. And then the last palette we have to talk about before we have to talk about the other stuff is the L'Oreal Life Glows On. I didn't write this on my list either, but apparently I think I used it twice. I'm not sure. But yeah, I really do like using this and having it out, and also using it as like an additional highlight, like just on the uppers of my cheekbones. It's very nice. Now we have to talk about this. So if you don't know, Wet n Wild is no longer cruelty free, and you're probably like, Victoria, what do you mean? So someone found out that Wet n Wild currently has a stand in, I believe it was Shanghai. I don't know. It was in China. Logical Harmony and Beauty News both have covered this situation. And Wet n Wild came out and was like, we've been selling in China, but don't worry, we like bypassed the laws. It doesn't work like that. Even if Wet n Wild bypassed the pre-testing laws in order to sell in China, they are still eligible for post-marketing testing, I believe is the term. And the government doesn't have to tell Wet n Wild they're doing it. So that is still them not being cruelty-free. And I know someone's going to think that's dramatic, but Wet n Wild is opening themselves up to being tested by the Chinese government, even if it's without their consent and knowledge. So they're still allowing that to happen. They cannot stop the government. They signed a contract, and if they didn't sign that contract, then why aren't they boosting about it, saying we are the first company to bypass post-marketing laws in China? Because then that would set the precedent that all other companies could follow and not have to sign that. So clearly they signed it because they're not promoting the goodness if they didn't sign it and didn't have to sign it. So yeah, they still test on buns and all those animals, so I cannot support them anymore, which sucks, because when you're balling on a budget, Wet n Wild comes in clutch, but not anymore. And because I had to pull in so many Wet n Wild products, I decided it was finally time to bite the bullet. I need to stop pretending that Lorac is cruelty-free, because they're not. So the first item I'm pulling in is this Lorac eye primer. Yes, most of my Lorac stuff I have put in projects because I know they're not cruelty-free, but I wasn't ready to focus on everything yet. So I ended up putting everything in a project anyway. So whatever. This is pretty much halfway done. It'd be rad if it's done by the next update. Next, we have an eyeliner in Antique Bronze. I used up the other two that were in this trio, and this is all I have left. So, I have no concern about this one. Next is a lipstick in Lorac Foodie. The only concern with this one is that I feel like it might expire soon because I did get it from a Marshall's. The smell's still okay. But, I tend not to reach for this color a lot, but it is in another project, so hopefully it being technically now 2 projects motivates me. The next item is this palette. This is the Lorac Free Spirit palette. I did just hit pan in an eyeshadow recently, so now that I know the depth, I think I can do it. These are all very wearable shades, so yeah. And then the reason I really didn't want to put Lorac in here was because of this guy, the Mega Pro 4. I received this as a gift before I decided to do this project. And then I just started panning it anyway, so I should have just threw it in here. This is the current state of it. I have finished up one completely. I have pan in Cool Taupe, I have pan in Moss, and I have pan in Unicorn. So obviously, you're like, wow, you only have pan in 3 things and you only finished up one. That's still a big palette. A lot of them, as you can tell, have dips because I put them in shorter projects to try to start getting dips out of them. Because this palette is not really a standalone palette because the color story is a little wonky. Their eyeshadows are really easy to pan. So I'm not as scared to pan it as I used to be. So we're going to bite the bullet and we're just going to do it. Now, let's talk about all of the Wet n Wild items, and I forgot to write one on my list. Okay, so we'll talk about the one I forgot to write first, so I remember to put in my sheet when I'm editing. This is the Wet n Wild eyeliner in Calling Your Bluff. This has been in 2 A to Z projects. This current one, and then when I joined halfway last year. Like this eyeliner. Forget to use it a lot. Want it gone really badly. This one, I must have had a feeling something was gonna happen to Wet n Wild because I pulled 2 Wet n Wild products into my Roulette Pan collab. So the next one is Brulee. This is currently in the Roulette Pan collab. I've been using it every single day as just setting my primer or even being my base. I must have known. I have a good intuition. The next thing is the Wet n Wild gloss in Capricorn. I am a Capricorn. I suckered in and bought it. I didn't know it was even on sale anymore when I saw it. This color is okay. I've only used it once. I would like this better if it was like a liquid eyeshadow. I don't really favor that color as a lip gloss. Next, I have not one, but 2 foundations to talk about. Yay! So the first foundation I have from them is Porcelain. I realized that this color was too warm for me. So then I got Shell Ivory for Easter. Then I realized that even though this is neutral, it's still, that's so loud, I'm so sorry. It's still too warm. So, good thing I have a mixer because these are so warm. Yeah, the formula is okay. I mean, it's a good price considering you get a standard 1 fluid ounce. Next, we'll talk about these together because they're literally the same thing. I have 2 trios. I have the Will You Marina Me and Heart and Heavy. So, Will You Marina Me and Heart and Heavy. I've panned in both of the brow bone shades because they were in a project. I do have plans to put some of these colors also in a project. These are both from the Valentine's Day collection in 2017, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. This one will definitely be easier for me to use up. I could definitely use up that brow bone shade real easy. This one's going to be a lot harder, even though that's like the more neutral one, minus the pop of blue, the more neutral one. Oh my god, I forgot another item. And okay, we'll talk about this one first too. So, I wanted to buy this blush, but I ended up getting one of the more highlighter type formulas because every other batch they put more glitter. It doesn't make sense. So this is the Rose Champagne. I do have pan in it. This isn't a project, but now it's out of a project because I hit my goal of hitting pan. Now I'm going to have to use it up. It is a tad bit kind of too dark for me, so I do have to be light-handed and not go crazy with it. So it is going to take a little bit longer. The next thing, which is also brand new, I literally have had it in my new basket this whole time, and this is the Air highlighter from the Zodiac collection. Hate the lid, but I love this pretty pink color, and now I'm going to have to pan it and use it up because Wet n Wild wants to be problematic. And then the last 2 things from Wet n Wild. So originally I bought the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade mascara in Amethyst, and I really liked it, and a couple days ago I went and I bought the black one right before this all happened. So I'm happy to have the black one, but this sucks because I thought this was like my holy grail set for life, and then they pulled this shit. It's just a pain because I always try to buy cheap stuff from Wet n Wild, especially complexion products, so I can save my money on the more expensive eyeshadows and stuff like that. And now I'm going to have to turn to CoverGirl for my main drugstore needs, and that's like buying Maybelline, which is what I used to get when I was in middle school, and then I would be like, wow, I have no money because buying one item is $12. Capitalism, we love it. And then the last item I'm just gonna put in here for accountability, and this is NARS lipstick samples. I used up 3, but I want to make sure I use up all of the nudes. They're pretty colors, so I don't feel the need to put them in projects, but I want to make sure I'm accountable. This guy is going to go in a project though because it's like dark berry, but yeah, I just want to stay accountable, so that's why this is in here. And plus, who doesn't want more empties? So, now that my desk is a mess, and I'm still low-key pissed off, and I think it's time for lunch, I'm going to end this here. If you have a non-cruelty-free project going on, let me know how many items are in it for you, and let me know if you're going to try to pan and completely finish up all your Wet n Wild things, or are you just going to wait for them to hopefully pull out of the China market, even though I believe they've been in there for 4 years? I think that's what the post said. Yeah, I'm not even disappointed. I'm just pissed. Like, why did they have to do this? Obviously, capitalism, they want money, financial gain. But what I don't understand about companies is why take off the cruelty-free status? When you take off the cruelty-free status, you're removing all of the people that care about that shit. If you're a cruelty-free company, you're gonna get the normal consumer anyway, because most normal consumers do not care or know about animal testing. But then you have the beauty community, and now you pissed all of us off because most of us are cruelty-free. Wouldn't you rather be cruelty-free and make additional profit because you're tailoring to people who are cruelty-free versus just going for normal people who don't really care about that status? I don't know. I hate marketing. I hate all this stuff. Makes me agitated. So, I hope you're having an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this, and peace out, Girl Scout.